Sitaram, and a pleasant good evening to each and everyone. Welcome to tonight's Connecting Through Bhajans. At this point, I would like to invite Auntie Indra to do our opening prayer, followed by our first bhajan. Thank you, Sitaram.
Sitaram, everyone. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Siddhi Buddhi Prada Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradayani Mantra Murti Sada Devi Ya Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Kandha Kandhaya Nandalala Om Murali Wala ऐसे बजाए मुरली मुरलिया जादू भरी कान्हा कन्हैया नंद लाला ओ मुरली वाला ऐसे बजाए मुरली मुरलिया जादू भरी देखा कुंवर कन्हाई रैसे रास रचाई ऐसे तान सुनाई सुर बुर सब बिसराई बात कुचलिया निराला ओ मुरली वाला ऐसे बजाए मुरली मुरलिया जादू भरी कान्हा कन्हैया नंद लाला ओ मुरली वाला ऐसे बजाए मुरली मुरलिया जादू भरी कान्हा कृष्ण मुरारी गोवर्धन गिरधारी काहे मत की तूड़ी सुन के मैं थी गई आंधी बड़े ब्रिज बाला ओ मुरली वाला ऐसे बजाए मुरली मुरलिया जादू भरी कान्हा कन्हैया नंद लाला ओ मुरली वाला ऐसे बजाए मुरली मुरलिया जादू भरी माखन छोड़ दुलारा नटखट सबका प्यारा मनमोहन मन भावन नाम कते जग सारा माधव मुकुंद मत वाला ओ मुरली वाला ऐसे बजाए मुरली मुरलिया जादू भरी कान्हा कन्हैया नंद लाला ओ मुरली वाला ऐसे बजाए मुरली मुरलिया जादू भरी मुरलिया जादू भरी मुरलिया जादू भरी. Sitaram again, everyone.
Thank you, Auntie Indra. You did a wonderful job. So now I'd like to ask Auntie Chansey if she can do a bhajan or kirtan for us, followed by Sanya, Auntie Joy, Mrs. Ramdat, and my mom. Thank you.
Namaste, everyone. I just feel like it's been so long since we were together. Okay, so we know that yesterday was Guru Purnima, and usually we start with a Ganesha and then we do Guru and then Ma. But of course, there's only one God, so it's just a matter of, it's your personal choice. Shirdi Sai Parti
जनों के साए, भक्त जनों के पापा, दीन जनों के साए, भक्त जनों के पापा, कलियुग अवतारा, मेरे जीवन आधारा, कलियुग अवतारा, मेरे जीवन आधारा, सद्गुरु साई राम, श्री गुरु साई राम, सद्गुरु साई राम, श्री गुरु साई राम। शिरडी साई परटी बाबा, दीन जनों के साए, भक्त जनों के पापा, कलियुग अवतारा, मेरे जीवन आधारा, कलियुग अवतारा, मेरे जीवन आधारा, सद्गुरु साई राम, श्री गुरु साई राम, सद्गुरु साई राम, श्री गुरु साई राम। शिरडी साई परटी बाबा।
Namaste, everyone.
सीताराम। जय गुरु ओंकारा, जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा, ओम जय गुरु ओंकारा, जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा, ओम ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवाय, ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवाय, हर 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 महादेवा, हर 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 महादेवा। जय गुरु ओंकारा, जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा, ओम जय गुरु ओंकारा, जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा, ओम काशी कैलाश निवसति शंकर, काशी कैलाश निवसति शंकर, हर 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 बम बोले, हर 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 बम बोले। जय गुरु ओंकारा, जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा, ओम जय गुरु ओंकारा, जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा, ओम ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवाय, ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवाय, हर 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 महादेवा, हर 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 महादेवा। जय गुरु ओंकारा, जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा, ओम काशी कैलाश निवसति शंकर, काशी कैलाश निवसति शंकर, हर 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 बम बोले, हर 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 बम बोले। जय गुरु ओंकारा, जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा। जय गुरु ओंकारा, जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा। सद्गुरु ओंकारा, सद्गुरु ओंकारा। सीताराम।
Sitaram. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhus cha sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. जिनके हृदय सिया राम बसे, उन और नाम न लियो जिन के हृदय सिया राम। कोई मांगे कंचन सी काया, कोई मांग रहा प्रभु से माया, कोई मांगे कंचन सी काया, कोई मांग रहा प्रभु से माया, कोई पुण्य करे कोई दान करे, कोई दान करे सो बखान करे। जिन कन्या धन को दान दियो, जिन कन्या धन को दान दियो, उन और को नाम न लियो जिन की हृदय सिया राम। और का नाम न लियो जिन की हृदय सिया राम। कोई घर में बैठा नमन करे, कोई हरि मंदिर में भजन करे, कोई घर में बैठा नमन करे, कोई हरि मंदिर में भजन करे, कोई गंगा जमुना स्नान करे, कोई काशी जाके ध्यान धरे। जिन मात पिता की सेवा की, जिन मात पिता की सेवा की, उन तीर्थ स्नान कियो न कियो जिन की हृदय सिया राम। और को नाम न लियो जिन की हृदय सिया राम। Sitaram.
Sitaram, everyone. जय गणेश गणनाथ दया निधि, सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारी, मन मंदिर स्वीकार करो प्रभु, चरण शरणम आई तुम्हारी। जय गणेश गण नाथ दयानिधि। जय नंद लाला जय गोपाला जय नंद लाला जय जय श्री राधे गोविंदा। मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है श्री राधे गोविंदा। मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है। गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है। नंद लाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है श्री राधे गोविंदा। मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है। मोर मुकुट सिर गलधन माला केसर तिलक लगावे केसर तिलक लगावे। मोर मुकुट सिर गलधन माला केसर तिलक लगावे केसर तिलक लगावे। वृंदावन के कुंज गलन में सबको नाच नचाए ओह सबको नाच नचाए श्री राधे गोविंदा। मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है श्री राधे गोविंदा। मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है। जमुना किनारे बेन चरावे माधव मदन मुरारी माधव मदन मुरारी। जमुना किनारे बेन चरावे माधव मदन मुरारी माधव मदन मुरारी। मधुर मुरलिया जभी बजावे हरले सुध बुध चारी ओह हरले सुध बुध चारी श्री राधे गोविंदा। मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है श्री राधे गोविंदा। मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है। गिरधर नागर कहती मीरा सूर को श्यामल भाया सूर को श्यामल भाया। गिरधर नागर कहती मीरा सूर को श्यामल भाया सूर को श्यामल भाया। सुभाय राम और नाम देव में वृत्तल वृत्तल गाया ओह वृत्तल वृत्तल गाया श्री राधे गोविंदा। मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है श्री राधे गोविंदा। मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है। राधा शक्ति बिना न कोई श्यामल दर्शन पावे श्यामल दर्शन पावे। राधा शक्ति बिना न कोई श्यामल दर्शन पावे श्यामल दर्शन पावे। आराधन कर राधे राधे कान्हा भागे आवे ओह कान्हा भागे आवे श्री राधे गोविंदा। मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है श्री राधे गोविंदा। मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है। गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नंद लाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है श्री राधे गोविंदा। मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है श्री राधे गोविंदा। मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है। जय श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की जय।
Sitaram, everyone. Ma Sharade माँ शारदे हंसवाहिनी वीणा पानी ब्रह्म भामिनी कला स्वामिनी जगतारदे माँ शारदे माँ शारदे हंसवाहिनी वीणा पानी ब्रह्म भामिनी कला स्वामिनी जगतारदे माँ शारदे ज्ञानहीन में ध्यानहीन में बुद्धिविहीन विवेकहीन में ज्ञानहीन में ध्यानहीन में बुद्धिविहीन विवेकहीन में विवेकहीन में ज्ञान भार दे माँ शारदे विवेकहीन में ज्ञान भार दे माँ शारदे माँ शारदे हंसवाहिनी वीणा पानी ब्रह्म भामिनी कला स्वामिनी जगतारदे माँ शारदे हृदय गगन में मर्त्य भवन में मुक्त भवन में जन जीवन में हृदय गगन में मर्त्य भवन में मुक्त भवन में जन जीवन में जन जीवन में राश्मिकार दे माँ शारदे जन जीवन में राश्मिकार दे माँ शारदे माँ शारदे हंसवाहिनी वीणा पानी ब्रह्म भामिनी कला स्वामिनी जगतारदे माँ शारदे कला स्वामिनी जगतारदे माँ शारदे. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Now I'd like to pass over to Sanya for tonight's Bhajoka Khan segment.
Sitaram everyone and welcome to Bachuka Khan. Tonight we'll be starting off with our opening prayer. Om Sahanao Bhavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Tonight, our presenters are Kavi, Zarina, and our young adult is Auntie Shabana. Kavi will be singing the bhajan Jai Ambe. Zarina will be reading a story entitled Karana's Generosity, and Auntie Shabana will be reading a piece on Guru Purnima. So I now pass over to Kavi for his bhajan.
Sitaram. Jayambe, Jayambe, Matu Bhavani, Jayambe, Jayambe, Jayambe. Jayambe, Jayambe, Matu Bhavani, Jayambe, Juragati Hanini, Jayambe, Papa Vimochani, Jayambe, Juragati Hanini, Jayambe, Papa Vimochani, Jayambe, 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 Matu Bhavani, Jayambe, 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 Matu Bhavani, Jayambe, Jagaduranini, Jayambe, Lokasahanini, Jayambe, Jagaduranini, Jayambe, Lokasahanini, Jayambe, 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 Matu Bhavani, Jayambe, Matu Bhavani, Jayambe, Matu Bhavani, Jayambe, Sitaram.
Sitaram. Karna's generosity. King Karna was known for his generosity. In the Kurukshetra war, when he was lying in the mud dying, Lord Krishna disguised himself as a poor Brahmin and came to Karna to seek alms. Lying there helpless, Karna couldn't give the poor Brahmin anything. So he broke 2 of his gold teeth and gave them to the disguised Krishna. The Brahmin got furious that Karna gave him the blood-ridden teeth. Karna pierced the earth with his arrow, brought out a spring of water, washed the teeth with it, and gave it to Lord Krishna. Moral of the story: be generous and help those in need without being selfish.
Sitaram again, everyone. Message tonight is taken from one of Satya Sai Baba's discourse done on July 22nd, 1994. On the most auspicious occasion of Guru Purnima, how should we experience the divine Guru's blessing? Bhagwan gives his precious message. Guru Purnima was observed yesterday. Guru means big. Guru also has another meaning. Guru means darkness, and Ru means dispelling. Guru means one who dispels darkness, the preceptor who dispels the darkness of ignorance. Guru Purnima is the day on which one celebrates the dispersal of the darkness of ignorance from the mind. Hence, people should fill their minds with the all-embracing love principle. To experience the fullness of love, you have to fill your hearts completely with love. That will be the result of total devotion. But today, devotion is not total. Hence, the benefit also is partial. Part-time devotees cannot expect total reward. The Lord confers full grace on those whose hearts are totally filled with devotion. Spiritual aspirants may follow any one of the 9 parts of devotion and realize the divine. Among these, the attitude of friendship towards God is the only one to be cherished because God is the only true and endearing friend for everyone. A guru is one who, through his grace enters your heart, broadens it, and enables you to comprehend the aspect of divinity. Thank you, Sitaram.
Thank you, Kavi, Zarina, and Auntie Shabana. We look forward to your participation again. Thank you, and Sitaram.
Thank you all very much. So now I'd like to ask Auntie Indra if she can do a bhajan for us, followed by Auntie Chansey and Sanya. Thank you.
Sitaram again. जिनके लिए दिन बाबा तुम्ही प्यार हमें करके अपना बनाया बाबा दुलार हमें तरसे जिनके लिए दिल बाबा तुम्ही प्यार हमें करके अपना बनाया बाबा दुलार हमें तरसे तेरी मीठी पानी सुनकर मैं कहता है तेरे सिवा बाबा बोले दिन में न रहता है कालिया संसार हमें ना बाबा तुम्ही प्यासे अपना बनाया बाबा दुलार हमें तरसे जिनके लिए दिल बाबा तुम्ही प्यार हमें करके अपना बनाया बाबा दुलार हमें करके कर्म धाम किया कर हमने जीवन नया दिया कर्म धाम की आखिर हमने जीवन नया दिया वो प्यार ते सागर बाबा इतने प्यार दिया रोम रोम गिरिजा प्यारे तुम्ही करके अपना बनाया बाबा दुलार हमें करके दिन जिने के लिए दिल बाबा तुम्ही प्यार हमें करके अपना बनाया बाबा दुलार हमें तरसे जिनके लिए दिल बाबा Sitaram again, everyone. Thank you.
Indra, that was a beautiful song.
Thank you. It's the first time I sing it. I had the copy sent Pandit Ramdat Vyas days, so I decided to sing this one. I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you.
Sadguru Sai Sadguru Rama, Sadguru Sai, Sadguru Rama, Ram Ram Shri Ram Bhajo Sai Ghanshyama, Ram Ram Shri Ram Bhajo Sai Ghanshyama, Sadguru Sai, Sadguru Rama, Shri Rama, Sai Rama, Shri Rama, Sai Rama, He Murali Ghanshyama, He Murali Ghanshyama, He Murali Ghanshyama, Sadguru Sai, Sadguru Rama, Shri Rama Ghanshyama, Shri Rama Ghanshyama, Partisha Sai Rama, Partisha Sai Rama, Partisha Sai Rama, Sadguru Sai, Sadguru Rama, Ram Ram Shri Ram Bhajo Sai Ghanshyama, Sadguru Sai, Sadguru Rama. Namaste everyone.
Sitam. Shadade, Shadade, Hansavanani, Shadade, 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 Hansavahini, Shadade, 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 Bhagivasali, Shadade, 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 Bhagilasani, Shadade, 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 Hansavahini, Shadade, 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 Hansavahini, Shadade, Shankara Pujita Shadade, Santana Vandita Shadade, Shankara Pujita Shadade, Santana Vandita Shadade, Veena Pani Shadade, Vidyadayani Shadade, Veena Pani Shadade, Vidyadayani Shadade, 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 Hansavahini, Shadade, 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 Hansavahini, Shadade, 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 Bhavilasani, Shadade, 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 Bhavilasani, Shadade, 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 Hansavahini, Shadade, 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 Hansavahini, Shadade, Shankara Pujita Shadade, Santana Vandita Shadade, Shankara Pujita Shadade, Santana Vandita Shadade, Veena Pani Shadade, Vidyadayani Shadade, वीणापाणि शारदे विद्यादायिनि शारदे 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 हंसवाहिनी शारदे 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 हंसवाहिनी शारदे 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 वाग्विलासिनी शारदे 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 वाग्विलासिनी शारदे 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 हंसवाहिनी शारदे हंसवाहिनी शारदे हंसवाहिनी शारदे. Sit down.
Thank you all very much. So now I'd like to pass over to Auntie Chancy for our catechism this evening.
Namaste again, everyone. So this evening, I'm going to revisit something that I had done probably a year ago or so. And it deals with who is a teacher, who is a guru. We can all agree that an essential and integral element of development, progress, and civilization is knowledge. Generally, we break knowledge into two categories, secular and spiritual. Our tradition is a teaching tradition, and so a central doctrine or concept is the guru-shishya relationship. We are urged to be discerning, to inquire, to question in our quest for progress. The Vedas and the Bhagavad Gita urge us. They urge us to be discerning, not just to accept things blindly. When we celebrate the Guru, who or what are we speaking of? There's a Vidya Guru, there's a Diksha Guru, there's a Param Guru, Jagat Guru, and a Purushottama Guru. Humility and respect for our teachers is very important in our quest for growth and for spiritual development. Last week we spoke about one of Gandhi's 7 sins, and it was education without character. And here, humility is one integral element of that. If we are to have a good character, we must have humility. So even in our day-to-day life, this is very, very important. And of course, and as sadhakas in our quest for moksha, it is imperative that we develop this quality. A very important thing that we must always remember is there's a critical difference between reverence and worship. We have respect, we have regard, we show, we pay respect to our guru, but we never worship our guru. Worship is only reserved for the limitless Lord, for Brahman, for Lord Krishna, for Swami, for the Purna Avatara, for Ishvara. This is something that we must understand and always remember. Who is a spiritual teacher? We have lots of charlatans purporting to be gurus, to be swamis. We have many great pretenders. They wear the garb, big tilak, saffron robes, all of this. And some of them, all we have to do is to see someone dressed with Indian wear, with a big tikka or tilak, and we think, okay, now there's nothing wrong with showing respect for people, but sometimes respect must be earned. So when we are looking for a guru, who do we look for? What are the pertinent qualifications? Is it whether the person is popular? Is it how they look, their appearance, how they sing, if they can read and quote scripture very well? What about their lifestyle? How many of us take the time to investigate this? As Shabana just quoted Swami and explained what the word guru means. Literally, want to remove you from darkness. What darkness are we speaking about here? Generally, we speak about ignorance, but ignorance is a very broad term. There's so many connotations. If someone is not leading a decent lifestyle, is that person qualified to correct others? You know, sometimes parents believe or they behave as if there's a time limit. You know, it's like an urgent thing. You know, I have to get my child a guru. The time is running out. It's very important that if that child does not have a personal connection, respect, there is no point. The whole idea of having a guru is for that person to have some sort of rapport, to be comfortable with that person. That person has to be knowledgeable to be able, they also have to be accessible to that child or to that person. What is the urgency to have a guru if there is none of this? Sometimes you hear parents talk and you have to wonder. You see some of these characters whose actions are, you know, leaves a lot to be desired. They're spiritually bankrupt. The Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads outlines the qualities of qualifications, as it were. For our purposes here, and for all that we have done in the past, it's common sense. Consistency in dharmic behavior and knowledge, spiritual knowledge. These are critical. The person must not only be knowledgeable, but their thought, word, and deed should be, you know, something that will command respect. Respect should not just be bestowed on someone. They must earn respect. And they must practice what they teach. There's no room for double standards. Long ago, you could fool people, not in this day and age, not with the young people we have, and rightly so. They're absolutely correct if they point out double standards. Think about this. If you have a chemistry or physics teacher who cannot apply theory to practical experiments, how useful are they? In the same way, a guru should put divine teachings into practice. Their actions and behavior should speak. They should speak for them. Other than that, there is something hollow. There is a void. And no one can really and truly respect and have confidence in that person. Now, central to the learning process, you know, our desire to know and the learning element is something that is shared by all human beings. And in Hinduism, all aspirants, this is true for all humans. This is how we learn. And this is why there is throughout the Upanishads, there is always a dialogue. A dialogue between the teacher and the student. Sometimes we put things off, you know, and very, very great emphasis is placed on secular knowledge. Even though we talk and we say, well, you know, it is very important that we work towards getting moksha and so on, but it seems rather convenient sometimes. When we are at a certain stage in our life, our priorities are only work or school. There isn't even a tiny space for spirituality. And this doesn't mean that you have to go and sit in the temple or whatever. That is very good. But at least to learn and try to empower yourself. When faced by distress, this is why this happens. Catastrophes, trials and tribulations. To whom do we look for solace? Do we just throw our hands up in the air and say, oh my God, why are you doing this to me? No, sometimes we run helter-skelter all over the place. We don't look to the secular world. When existential crises such as death and illness face us, sometimes we are running everywhere to find answers. You know, in that moment of weakness and vulnerability, now we are looking. All through our life, we are not really, you know, we have other priorities. This is where the Lord, as the Param Guru, the Purushottama Guru, speaks directly to us through scriptures, through doctrine. The Diksha Guru is a medium through which the Lord's words are taught, elucidated, and disseminated. Knowledge is power, the power to overcome ignorance and to grow spiritually. Now listen carefully. So if the person you are looking at to be a guru for your children does not have those qualifications, we must always remember there is the Param Guru, which is the Lord himself teaching us through the scriptures. So don't settle. Don't settle. Be sure that your children have that connection. They must have respect. They must have regard for that individual who will become their guru. And if they have not found that person, don't push them into a relationship that is going to be dysfunctional. It is pointless. And it defeats the whole purpose. So the desire to know, there are three elements. In Hinduism, we talk about Shravanam, which is to listen. To listen, but to listen with an open mind. So in any type of learning that we do, this is what the Lord recommends. Shravanam. Whether it is secular or spiritual, you listen with an open mind. If you have already made up your mind about things and you think you know it all well, there's no point. You will never learn anything. Learning can only take place if we are open to new ideas, new concepts. You're prepared to listen to another person's point of view. The second one is Mananam. We listen, then we contemplate, we consider. And we don't patronize a person. We seriously consider what they are saying. We internalize it. We distill beneficial from insignificant or untrue. This is both spiritual and secular. So not because somebody's wearing these robes and they're talking, you take everything, you know, lock, stock, and barrel. The third one, and this is a very important one, it is absolutely necessary for spiritual growth and development. Nidhi Dhyasa. And what does it mean? Every single week when I do catechism, I emphasize and re-emphasize. Lord Krishna, the Purna Avatara Swami, talks about it over and over in the scriptures. So thus far we have listened with an open mind. We have thought it through, we've considered. Now what is left? We listen to a discourse, we conclude that is valid. It makes sense. So does a learning process end there? In Hinduism, the answer is an emphatic no. Nidhi Dhyasa refers to the application of what we have learned. How we put doctrine into practice. In short, how we transform ourselves into better human beings. We keep saying that Hinduism is a way of life. So there is somehow a disconnect between what are the teachings, the doctrine, and then how we live. I always keep saying, someone should look at you and know exactly who you are. By your behavior, by your actions. Swami reminded us repeatedly about the critical importance of the transformative element in spiritual growth. On our journey towards mukti or moksha, we are obligated to shun ourselves of negative attributes, thoughts, and behavior to become closer to God. So, you know, people were wishing and sending greetings for Guru Purnima, and while it is such a beautiful thing, I really hope that they were being sincere, that the greetings were sincere and were justified. We have to become a little bit more circumspect when we engage in any activity, but especially spiritual. As human beings and sadhakas, it is imperative that we empower ourselves with knowledge. Let us not wait for a calamity to precipitate that search for spiritual knowledge. Secular knowledge is enough for survival, but true wisdom comes from spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge, and this entails morality, ethics, natural justice, humility, selflessness, character. The knowledge we need to navigate our present, but more importantly, the hereafter is spiritual knowledge. And as I leave this evening, I just want to ask this question. What could be more urgent or important? Namaste and thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Chancy. So I'll have one more kirtan, and then we'll have our closing prayer. So Mrs. Ramdat, can you do one for us? And then Auntie Leela will do our closing. Thank you.
Jai Sitaram. मोहे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोरे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोरे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोरे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की। चरण बिना मुझे कुछ नहीं भावे, चरण बिना मुझे कुछ नहीं भावे। झूठी माया सब स्वप्नन की, झूठी माया सब स्वप्नन की, मोरे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोरे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोरे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की। भव सागर सब सुख गया है, भव सागर सब सुख गया है, भव सागर सब सुख गया है, भव सागर सब सुख गया है। फिकर नहीं मुझे तरनन की, फिकर नहीं मुझे तरनन की, मोरे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोरे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोरे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की। मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर, मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर, मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर, मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर। उलट भई मोरे नयनन की, उलट भई मोरे नयनन की, मोरे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन 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 की। जय सीताराम।
Sitaram, everyone. Let's get ready for the closing prayer. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhave. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sitaram Namaste.